My name, where you're from, and where you grew up.
All right, my name is Mitch Michaud. I'm the state chair, and I am from the Kenai Peninsula. And I grew up in a place so far north in Maine that if I look north, I saw.
Hi, Ed Morgan. I live in Juneau and I grew up in Virginia. You can tell by my accent. No, I don't have one.
I'm Alan Brens with UI Property Extension. I'm from Fairbanks. I was born in Fairbanks. I grew up kind of a split growing up between Fairbanks and St. Croix River Valley, Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Beck Schultz. I am from Anchorage and I grew up in Michigan, in the suburbs of Detroit.
I'm Ken Winberger, from Anchorage and, Spokane. And, I grew up in the Midwest, Wisconsin and Illinois.
Hello, my name's Kellen Nelson, and I am a research forester in the Forest Sciences Lab in Juneau. I grew up in Reno, Nevada, and I am fifth generation from Nevada, except they don't live there.
Hi, I'm Sheila Spores. I live in Ketchikan, and I'm actually a second generation forester, so my life was growing up all over, mostly Montana, Idaho, Alaska, and actually Virginia as well, so all over.
Hi, my name's Jennifer Wynn. I'm from Juneau, but I grew up in Houston, Texas. You can probably tell because of my clear southern accent.
I am Michael Shepard, from Anchorage, and I grew up in Juneau and Anchorage.
Hello, I'm Andrew Jones. I'm Director of Sitka Conservation Society from here in Sitka, Alaska. I grew up in the Finger Lakes in upstate New York.
Good handoff. I'm Chris Pettis, State Forester at NRCS Alaska, and I grew up in New York. Even though it's questionable if I've grown up, I'm surprised how you all made it to growing up. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Hi, I'm Dan Reese. I'm Fairbanks, Alaska. I grew up in North Minnesota, or raised, raised.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Chris Maish, consulting forester these days and sailboat captain most of the time. I can get out of here. And I was raised in Ohio and Michigan.
Hello, my name is Bob Derlin, commonly known as BD in Ketchikan. I've been there since 1980. I grew up in Milwaukee, the other Milwaukee, ends with an IE, just southeast of Portland. And I'm gonna say I went to school during the state.
John Parcell, worked in Fairbanks. I grew up in Montana.
Jeremy Dowse, I am in Fairbanks and since 2004 full-time. And grew up in central Vermont where you do what you want.
Hey, I'm Trevor DeVille Carlson from living in Anchorage. I grew up in the small Swedish town of Ballard, Washington. It's now a hipster town.
I'm Jim Rickard. I was born and raised in Anchorage.
Hi, my name is Adam Davis, I'm forester of Fairbanks, and I grew up in Branson, Missouri.
Hello, my name is Paul Clements, and I live in Sitka. And I grew up in the mountains in Southwest Virginia.
Hi, my name is Sue Rodman, and I live in Anchorage, and I grew up in Brandon, South Dakota.
Right, good morning, everyone. Brian Moore. I am from Sitka, and I grew up in Oregon, and then in fifth grade, moved up to Sitka.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Eric Garner, and I live here in Sitka, and I am blessed to serve the community here as the district ranger on the Tongass. And you probably do hear big twang. I am from East Tennessee, 8 generations from the backwoods of East Tennessee, and now you have a hillbilly here in your community.
Hello, my name is Scott Liorna. I'm with the Mueller Foundation based out of Juneau, and I grew up in Northwest Washington in the San Juan Islands.
In Arizona, Mexico.
Back to the back room. We got a couple more folks, so we gotta.
Definitely not necessary. My name is Erin Feeney. I'm with WFCA, but also the SAF Northwest Office, I guess. And I was raised in southwestern Connecticut, on the Long Island Shore.
And then Nicole, maybe you're standing right
Yeah.
there. We'll let you.
So I'm Nicole Jacobson. I am the new executive director of Western Forestry and Conservation Association, and we have been contracted with Northwest Office to do management for Northwest Office. So we are helping out all the state chapters. I'm up here because all of those buses are taking all of our bandwidth. And so even though we're on a secure network, because the public internet is basically down, it's not working. So I'm gonna turn off video. And that is what we're gonna try and do. It sounds like our sound is working, but
Can the folks online, I forgot to even ask if they can hear us.
they can hear us. So do you want the online people to introduce themselves?
That would be great if we could go have them introduce themselves. Yeah, maybe they can't put their camera on, or maybe they won't show up if they do, I don't know.
So online, we have Doug Hansen, since you're first.
Yeah, I'm Doug Hansen. I'm from sunny 60-degree Fairbanks, and I grew up in northern New Jersey.
And Pat, are you online? Can you unmute?
Yes, should hopefully be hearing me. Pat Pelkovic. I'm currently in Juneau, and I grew up in Northern Illinois.
Andrea?
I'm Andrea Watts. I'm the editor of the Western Forester that's produced by the SAF Northwest Office, and I grew up in McCleary, Washington.
Ashley?
Hi, I'm Ashley Reed List. I'm in Anchorage with the Forest Service, and I grew up in Georgia.
Chris?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Fettig. I'm a research entomologist with the Pacific Southwest Research Station located here in Northern California, and I grew up in New York and New Jersey.
Great. Dan?
Dan O'Leary. I am the current Juneau chapter chair. I'm in Juneau, Alaska, and I grew up in South Bend, Indiana. Thank you.
Great. DZONA. Got me who that is.
Yeah, sorry. This is Damian Zona. We just lost power here too, amazingly, and it's beautiful out. So I am the regional Silv for the Alaska region. I sit in Ketchikan, Alaska, and I think I officially win the driest and brownest hometown of Tucson, Arizona.
Nice. Elizabeth?
Hey everyone, this is Elizabeth Graham, and I am in the terrible climate of sunny Juneau right now. Like you guys are suffering as well in Sitka. But I grew up in the south side of Chicago. Thanks for having me.
And we love your background, by the way. Gordon Chu.
Here I am. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Tennecky Logging Company, Gordon Shu here. I'm living in Tennecky Springs, Alaska, here in right between Sitka and Juneau, and grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area.
And Robin? I can't hear you. I see that you unmuted, but I still can't hear you. Yeah, okay, hi, yeah. And then let's see who joined. Clay and Bob just joined. We're introducing ourselves. So Clay and Bob, or Bob, will you go? Say hi. Maybe.
Well, hi, this is actually Nathan Lojeski. I somehow have Clay as my name, so I might have to log on, but I'm here.
Fantastic. Can I rename? I can't rename you. And Bob. Yeah. Okay. So online, is our sound better?
Yeah, it seems better from my perspective.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave video off until I see all these tour buses going. I know, right? We're also running on my hotspot now, so it might actually be better. So because we're not using their system. Okay, so do you need this or you?
Oh, I think is Sheila.
Yeah, are we ready?
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Sheila Sports as our first presenter and speaker. Sheila Sports is the staff officer of the Tongass National Forest, overseeing forest management, soils, and ecology plans. She received her degree in forest resource management, ecosystem management from the University of Montana before coming to the Tongass Training Forester under the agency internship program. Her career region, most of it on Tongass, working in silviculture. She became the staff officer in 2019. And she's going to talk about her subject, which she'll introduce here in just a moment. So,
I'm glad you didn't mention how long I've been on this, because I feel older.
you can share that. If you
Yeah.
I don't
so-
have.
I think we just lost the conference room.
So. Small town, huh?
It was working great this morning. Maybe something changed.
Well, they just came in. I have it on my. There we go.
All right, can you guys hear me, or do I need to get closer?
So this is the, if you want. I mean, here it is, the people that are on. This, the owl is for the people that are online, and this one is for the people in the room.
Okay, and it says that the internet connection is unstable?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll ignore that. I'm the. I've been on August, my career, except for months on the shoe gas. So, I came up first in 1992. So I've worked my way up through all the aspects of forest management, primarily silviculture. And so, I was the forest silviculturist for 11 years with Tongass. So I've been asked to present the latest
Keep talking?
Yeah.
Or- Okay. So I am here to discuss the Southeast Alaska Sustainability Strategy, which was announced in 2021. So click on the screen, and then it should go. Okay, so in January of 2021, the Tongass was working on about 3 significant timber sale projects. They were pretty large scale, and but then in January, they the administration put us on hold. And then 6 months later, they came out with this Southeast Alaska Sustainability Strategy. So it was July 15th, birthday, so it's always in my head. But the Southeast Alaska Sustainability Strategy kind of came out with 4 parts, right? And the one we're going to focus on today is number 1, ending large-scale old-growth timber sales on the Tongass National Forest and focusing management resources to support restoration, recreation, climate resiliency, and wildlife habitat and watershed improvement. And that's what the sustainability strategy said. It didn't even talk about any kind of timber harvest, but we then included that it is to even further accelerate our transition to young growth. And even though it said end large scale old growth harvest, the Tongass had an exit plan in place. The 2016 forest plan had said we were going to slowly decrease our old growth harvest, and then in 2031, we were going to cap our old growth harvest at 5 million board feet per year to kind of cover those small operators. Well, this announcement took that 2031 plan and moved it to 2021. It's been challenging because we did analysis in the 2016 forest plan, and we analyzed a whole bunch of different alternatives on like how could we actually get down to 5 million board feet of old growth in 2031, have a significant supply of young growth, and maintain all the current industry. And so accelerating our young growth program has been really challenging. So just to discuss the 3 other parts of SAF-FM, part 2 was restoring the 2001 roadless rural protections. For those of you who've been here this whole time on the Tongass, it's been kind of game on, game off, game on. And so poor Chris, he spent the latter years of his career working on the roadless rule. And that just kind of came in and said, nope, we're going to go back to 2001. Number 3 was for us to engage meaningful with tribal nations. This administration has made, it really has focused on tribal relations and working more with our tribal partners. And then the other one was identifying short and long-term opportunities for investments that reflect the diverse opportunities and needs in the region. That came with $26 million. And so folks were able to submit proposals, and the department funded to the tune of $26 million. So here is going back to kind of the 2016 forest plan. Year 1 is 2016. That's when we started. And the plan was to transition by year 16, which was this orange line in here. So we called it transition when we hit 41 million board feet a year. And then at that time, we were going to drop our old growth down to the 5 million board foot cap. So it's important to note that of all the alternatives we analyzed, we've all, there's always a plan to get out growth harvest. It's just under the 97 forest plan, it wasn't until 2040, 2050 that we really started transitioning. So the SAF forest management strategy, to be called SAF-FM from here on out, it describes an integrated approach. So instead of the Tongass is long enough for the timber program, it's for economics. We don't decrease wildfire risk or really have to address large scale insects and disease disturbances, but it's been around a long time to support the smaller communities in our in Southeast Alaska. So this is out of a paper that was put together after that announcement, and it said, within the framework of the 2016 forest plan, we're gonna design integrated forest management projects. To me, this was like, oh my God, this is silviculture. This is what we're supposed to be doing. This is simple, but it's not. So what a group of folks did, we have, integrated resources across the forest. We all sat down internally and we mapped where we had, integrated opportunities. So basically, if there was a high need for restoration, that was mapped on a blue gradient. If we had economic, young growth coming online, I call it coming online, so we're still at the early stages of our young growth program. And, and it's not because we haven't harvested a lot, it's ecologically still pretty young. So, areas that we had oldest young growth, and anywhere you get our line. So that's how we would approach, being integrated. We kind of considered it integrating projects in a geographic area and working together to leverage all the different partners, funding sources, work. So this was a pretty intensive map that we put together. So we mapped everything that we could, that we had the ability to map. So, opportunities, and then when you see crosshatches by years, that's when our growth and yield model predicted that we might have commercial young growth in there. So you see 2030, 2032. So this is just an example of all the different resources that came together we brought all of our information to the same table. And that, you would think that we would do that as a regular operating business. No, we don't. We're very stovepiped. We have restoration projects happening in one area of the forest, and then we had timber sale projects happening in other areas. So this was a very intentional way to try to work in the same area for a common goal. So internally, after we mapped everything, we came up internally, and this is again, we had a wildlife biologist